Mogul Motivation, educating and empowering entrepreneurs 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. Welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is for the aspiring entrepreneur who is trying to get over that hump and make things happen. This podcast is for anybody with a dream that wants to aspire higher and accomplish that dream. So even if you are not an entrepreneur, this podcast can still benefit you because you can train your mind to think like an entrepreneur and accomplish any goal that you have for yourself. I don't ask for any money. All I ask for is that you pass this podcast on to somebody else in your network. If you're listening to this podcast, you're listening to this podcast for a reason, so pass it on to somebody else who may benefit from it as well. And number two, please leave me a review. Let me know what you love about the content. Let me know what you would like to hear in the content in future episodes. So there was a story I was told a couple weeks ago that really resonated with me a lot. It was about a young boy. He was about 8 or 9 years old. He wasn't too old, but he wasn't too young. And obviously it's summertime, so he's not in school right now. He's not in any summer camps. The little boy, he lives with his mother who works between jobs, but she is an alcoholic. She's a battling alcoholic. And he lives with his older brother. His older brother is around 20 years old, I believe, and he works a job. A part-time job, and he's the one who's truly responsible for raising his younger brother because, you know, like I said, the mother is an alcoholic, so sometimes she's functional, sometimes she's not. So the older brother is the one that's really doing the grooming, doing the raising, and, you know, taking care of the younger brother. Since it's summertime, the younger boy, he has nothing to do throughout the day, and his older brother usually leaves him some money for him to, you know, go to the store, get some food, get something to eat or whatever while he's gone. And then when he comes back in the afternoon, you know, that's when he can, you know, make lunch for him, make dinner for him, so on and so on. But this one particular day, the older brother forgot to leave some money for his younger brother. He was running late to work and he forgot to leave some money for his younger brother. So as a result, his younger brother was stuck with no food in the house until he came back, until he got off work in the afternoon. So from the moment he woke up to around 3 or 4 o'clock, the younger boy would have to go without food. It's summertime, it's hot, he had nothing to do. But what this younger boy did amazed me. He refused to accept starvation. He refused to accept hunger. So what he did was he took 10 paper cups and he filled them all up with red Kool-Aid and he put them in a freezer. He made icy cups. And what he did was, after those icy cups froze, he went outside to his friends, to his associates, to all the kids in the neighborhood, and he was marketing that he had icy cups for sale. He had 10 of them, and he eventually sold 8 of them within a span of 2 or 3 hours. He sold 8 icy cups for 50 cents each. He made $4. And with that $4, he was able to get him something to eat that can hold him all throughout the day until his older brother came back home and was able to make dinner for him. Ladies and gentlemen, this little boy refused to lose. That's what we talked about last week. This little boy refused to lose, but what this little boy did was he insured himself. He accepted his circumstances. He accepted how dire his circumstances were, but what he did was he insured himself. He made a way out of no way. He used what he had to get what he needed. Nationwide isn't going to save us. State Farm isn't going to save us. New York Life is not going to save us. These life insurance companies, these jobs, these companies are not going to save us. The one thing that we can bet on at the end of the day is ourselves. We can bet on our hustle to make a way for us if nobody else is going to do it. We have to insure ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. This little boy used paper cups and Kool-Aid because he was hungry, and he used that to get money to get food for himself. So when you're building a business, when you're building your brand, you have to understand that it's deeper than calling yourself an entrepreneur. What you're doing is you're creating livelihood for yourself and for your family. That's the magnitude of what you're truly doing. Because see, when you work a job, when you work a career, and again, I'm always an advocate on saying you don't have to quit your job to be an entrepreneur. If you don't want to be a full-time entrepreneur, that's fine. But what I am saying is everybody on this earth needs to find additional ways to create income for themselves outside of their career. So even if you love your career, even if you love your 9-to-5, your business, your side hustle is creating a livelihood for yourself and your family. It's creating a safety net. Because At any given moment, you can lose your job. At any given moment, you can lose your career. And then what are you going to have? When it comes to your business, you can bet on yourself. You can depend on yourself 100% because you control your fate 100%. No matter how hard it is, no matter how many struggles you go through, you control it 100%. That is a fact. You have to understand that. Nobody is going to stop you but yourself. That little boy could have accepted his circumstances. He could have starved for half the day. It's the summertime, it's hot. He could have been irritated. He could have been dehydrated. He could have made himself sick, all types of things. But he refused to let that happen. So he created a side hustle out of ingenuity and he made money for himself. So when you created your brand, when you created your side hustle, your business, irregardless of the circumstances you have going on, you have to keep pressing forward. Because you're creating livelihood for yourself. You see, whenever you take home a paycheck, whether it's hourly or salary, it's always going to be a ceiling to that. It's no ceiling when you have your own business. It's no ceiling. It's no limitations on where you can take it. If your business is slow right now, if you're struggling to get it off the ground, that's okay. You're not the only one. It just means you got to keep digging deeper. Because you have to ask yourself, how bad do I truly want it? How bad do I truly want to eat? How bad do I truly want to be a millionaire? How bad do I truly want to make an impact? How bad do I truly want this? If the answer to that question is in any variation of you want it very bad, you want it extremely bad, then you're going to continue to grind. You're going to continue to figure out this business plan. You're going to continue to figure out a plan for your business. You're going to continue to figure out how to get your name out there. You're going to continue to figure out how to make sales. You're going to continue to find your target market. You're going to continue to do these things because you really want it. Because this is your livelihood. This is something that you built, something you created from your mind, and something that nobody can take away from you. Never forget that. It's deeper than calling yourself an entrepreneur. You are creating life insurance for yourself, for your family, for your kids, for generations to come. You're creating that safety net. If your kids get laid off, if your kids lose their job, if your kids fall on hard times, guess what? You have the business. The business can support them. They can come work for the business. The business can pay their tuition. The business can pay their bills. The business is going to be able to do things that you can't do if you continue to be mundane, if you continue to have these negative thoughts that you can't do it. You have to step out on faith and have belief in yourself every single day. You know, when a spider spins a web, you ever notice, like, you know, spiders always spin random webs over the middle of the night, and then you come to your car and it might be a spider web on the side of your car or whatever. And when, you know, of course, naturally we just break the web up and go on about our day. You think the spider gets mad when that happens? Maybe, maybe not. But I don't think the spider gets mad. I think the spider just looks at it like, all right, well, I got to do it again. It's the same thing with business. You spent all this work coming up with these business plans, coming up with these marketing plans, going out there, promoting your product, promoting your service. You go through all this work. And then we let one thing disrupt everything that we have done. You know, we let one bad review, one nasty customer, you know, one sprinkle of bad news ruin all the work that we've done. And then we defeat ourselves. We beat ourselves up and we say we don't want to do this. Maybe we're not fit to be an entrepreneur. Maybe we just need to just go back to doing our day job and all that. Nah. We got to have that same mentality that the spider had. We got to have the same mentality that little boy had. We just got to go back out there and just make it happen. We just got to keep doing it. We just got to keep building. Regardless, we got to build over and over. We got to keep building because we're making life insurance for ourselves. We can't wait on nobody else to save us. We can't wait on a salary to save us or a check to save us or these life insurance companies to save us or a pension. We can't wait on that. We have to create something that's going to make wealth for ourselves. That's what we have to do. We have to create life insurance for ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. So let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. And no matter what your circumstances is, use what you have to get what you need. And I guarantee you, in due time, your business will grow into everything that you envision. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you next week.